builders, parents, and collectors. On this episode of the Creation Evaluation Station, I'll be evaluating this. It is Zane's Mino creature. I don't know what I call it, Mino. I'd call it a rhino. But there it is, and also wonder why it's Zane's when it's black. I would think it was Cole's, but that's the name of the set. It's kind of strange. Anyways, before I get into it any further, I just like to let new viewers know that I do in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, both new and old, mostly Lego, but other products as well. And I also do reviews and discussions of other creative works such as movies, video games, and animation. So because they are in-depth reviews, they can be on the long side. So make sure you're checking out the timestamps down here on the red line or in the description. You can jump around to your favorite parts. You can skip all the parts if you're not interested in seeing all those, or the minifigures, or you can just go right to the main review or the evaluation, whatever you choose. Or you can just use them as bookmarks to come back to at a later date when you have more time. So let's take a closer look at this box once again. It's quite the whirlwind. Some interesting box art. It's okay box art. I've seen better. There's a lot of special effects added to the image, but here is the back with a whole lot less special effects. Here you can see the whole building system. This little one right here is what you get out of this one, so you're not getting much for that, but you are getting a big old rhino dude and a whole bunch more figures as well, 4 to be exact. So yeah, getting down to the details, it is set number 71719 for ages 8 and up, and it has 616 pieces. And originally retailed for $49.99, was released in June of 2020. It is discontinued now. Interesting to note, I looked on set.com, and used or even new, it's still hovering around $50. That may be a mistake. I don't know. I'd have to look in it closer, like actually go on eBay and check things out. Yeah, that's rather surprising. It's basically the same as retail price. Must not have been a popular set. Oh, looks cool. We'll find out. Here we have the contents of the box. And we have a really thick instruction booklet. It's not too big size-wise, but it's really thick. Got a big, hard, or bound one. And we have bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, bag 5, and then we have a little bit more, as we have this loose in the box, the die spinner. And we also have another one of these full maps folders explaining the game. I'm not going to look at it now. I can check out my previous video, my first video for this that had these. There's a short spot in there with it, and that's that. Let's go open them up and see what's inside. I did happen to find a small sticker sheet inside the instruction booklet, which was weird that was hiding in there, but there are a few. Looks like for the tiles and such. There were some for the last one too, but I don't know where the stickers were. They may be embedded somewhere in the book there as well. We have bag 1, and here is also that spinner die again. This is a larger set, so we've got a brick separator. We got a burp in here, big ugly rock piece, and a couple other large chunky pieces. This appears to be the terrain in the set, the piece with the that goes with the game board. We've got 3 figures here, 2 of the bad guys and Cole, a little black spider. Got a bunch of transparent green pieces, flames, and a crystal. Some transparent orange pieces here and over here as well. And this is interesting. We have 2 rocket thrusters here. fins and such. I wonder what they're going to be used for in this set. Considering the fantasy setting, they don't seem like they belong here. But there's probably some creative use for it. Here we have the contents of bag 2. We got a bunch of plates. I think we're finally building our creature here. Getting the base of the body. Got some studs on side pieces there. The long ones in tan. Zane's here. We got some bricks and pins over here. Bricks with like peg holes and stuff in them. A lot of little stuff in this one. Although there is those big ones as well. There you have the contents of bag 3. Got quite a few large pieces, including this piece here. The boat bottom piece, although not really made for boats. I think they use them for spacecrafts. We got these large pieces as well. Quite a few plates, different colors, and some other interesting slope pieces. Studs on side pieces. We have box. I think it's got rubber bands in it and not cloth. But we'll find out. Just a bunch of little pieces. Got some transparent blue mini pyramids here. Some white in here. So I guess this is Zane's. I wonder if this is supposed to be a combo creature. But they didn't call it Zane and Coles or anything like that. I'm a little confused about all that. Here we have the contents of bag 4, and I just realized that these armor pieces in here are that we've seen plenty of recently, but I wonder if this is the wave that they first came out, because I know back when I first saw them it wasn't this wave. I thought they were new then, but I could be wrong. They're like 5 years old and I just didn't know it. Got a bunch of hinges in here. I'm probably working on the legs. A lot of plates and stuff still. This looks like it's going to be a fun build. It's very built up. It doesn't use a lot of large pieces. Speaking of which, we have quite a few small pieces here. Gold pieces. And we got little tiny pyramids here in sand color. Perfect color for pyramids. But we also have them in clear blue. Then we have this green tile. Now, first saw the green, I'm like, oh, that's got to be an internal piece, but it's a tile. I have no idea. We'll find out. Bunch of studs on side pieces. Yeah, there's a good mix of stuff here. Here we have the 5th and last bag, and once again, a lot of tiles and plates and larger pieces. Got more hinges. Got some bracket pieces down here. There's another green tile. I don't know what those are going to be for, but we'll find out. Some more blue pyramids along with some tan. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's still a lot in this last bag. Here we have our leftover pieces, and we have some nice transparent pieces here with the green flame and also a clear blue pyramid. We also have an orange slice of cheese. Trans orange slice of cheese. But hey, everybody likes their slice of cheese orange. We also have some weapons. Well, really only one weapon, the side there. Although you do have a bar there that you could use for something. Some teeth pieces and stuff. And of course, we also have the leftover brick separator, which if you have a lot of Lego sets, you probably have a lot of these. Here we have our cast of characters for this set. We have Cole, Zane, we have Gleck, and Ginkle, who's a new one I have not seen yet so far in this wave. Definitely have some classes here. He definitely looks roguish, while the Gleck there is definitely ranged. And I guess that could be said of Zane. He looks ranged too with his crossbow, but we've seen him with that many a times before. I do want to point out this mace, or not mace. Well, it is a mace, but it's more of a flail. That's where those rocket thrusters went. That is pretty cool build there. I like that. The mystery has been solved. Now, that other set, all our guys had silver armor, and this one they've got gold, reflecting their colors more than anything. But that's interesting. Let's strip them of all their gear and check out their details. Got them all stripped down of their gear here. Taking a look at their prints, and wow, these guys have some really nice printing on the ninjas here. Legs and all. With all that armor, you don't get to see it, but that's pretty cool. Then you got the little goblin guys over here. Now, their torsos are exactly the same. I think their heads are the same. I just have them turned around. Let's flip them around here for a moment. Yeah, they have exactly the same heads. I just have different faces moving forward. So these guys are about the same. The only thing I wish they did, the one guy has the big black hood, and I wish they like had maybe a separate headpiece for him so he could take off the hood. But looking back over here to our ninjas again, they look pretty cool in the back as well. It sucks that they have so much detail that you don't see. This is interesting. He's got like a little blue thing tied around his belt there. Now, Zane doesn't have a second face. Cole does, of course. Zane never does. He's just got his port back there. Port Zane. But yeah, these guys are pretty cool. Definitely different. I like the asymmetry with some of the ninjas this season. They've done it before, or maybe later, I should say. The colors on the arms and stuff. But let's get to the main review. Got everything put together here and looking pretty fine. We've looked at the figures already. Though we're gonna have a couple stick around here. Mostly the good guys. Bad guys are gonna go away. This is the dice here. All you do to assemble it is put a small stud on the bottom of it. Not sure why they don't put the round 2x2 on the bottom of this. I think it would spin a little bit better, but I've shown this already in another shorter video, so if you want to check that out, there'll be a link at the end of the video. It spins okay, and it gets the job done. Now, we also have this, which we also saw in the last video, if you haven't been following them. It's basically a life counter and a loot box, so you can, as you're playing the game, can put your loot in the crate, and then as you're losing health or gaining health back, if you're being healed, you get more hearts or take off hearts. So that's a neat little touch to all these sets. This will be the second one now. I don't know if we'll have enough for all ninjas, all 5 ninjas? 6. Oh, yeah. 6 ninjas now. The only ninja we haven't seen yet in this wave is Jay. We've seen everybody else, so I'm sure we'll have Jay. In fact, I know it because he's got a mech. Now, moving on to the main attraction here. First, let's start off with Zane up here. He's got a nice saddle here, and not only that, he's got places that you can put the weapons, which is good because how this saddle is built, it's really hard for him to hold those large weapons while sitting on here. I did have do it, but it's much easier just to put the weapons on these little hooks and knobs here to hold them in place. And then we got our little flags in the back. They look cool. They require stickers, of course. Now, moving on to the Rhino guy himself. This guy is pretty awesome looking, just as he is. I love the build for the head. And still a little confused how this is Zane's Mino creature. I mean, it does have ice elements on it and some white, but it's also got quite a bit of black on it as well. And maybe this is supposed to be a combo type thing, because I know we have the mech in this series, which is definitely a Cole and Kai combination mech. It's got fire and earth in it. So maybe that's what this is supposed to be, but it's a little confusing by the name, just calling it Zane's. like it should be Cole and Zane's Mino creature, although that makes it even longer. But we do have some ice elements on it to bring out the icy aspects of it. But yeah, it's a little confusing what this guy's supposed to be. He still looks cool, but just has a very peculiar name and gimmick to it, I guess. Speaking of gimmicks, now it actually its functions. It's got posable back legs. There aren't click hinges, although I almost feel like they don't need to be because these don't hold most of the weight. I think the front legs hold most of the weight. And then the actual foot is on a ball joint. No knees. If you want to try to, you could get them to stand up. I haven't done this yet, but, you know. He's a little top heavy, so he's going to fall down. We also have this cute little tail that's a hook here. I think that's a nice little touch for his little knobby tail. And if you need to hook something and tow something, you can always hook it up and he'll pull it with him. Pretty neat. Now his front legs, this is a little disappointing because they don't move. And I'm not entirely sure why. Part of it might have to do with the function that they built into the shoulders. The feet here do move, although they aren't going to do you much good if you can't move the top legs, but they can, I don't know, it helps it to, you know, level it on any surface, having the ankle movement there, I guess, but it doesn't do much else, and no movement in the legs. Now, the reason why I think the shoulders are this way, although I'm not sure. You don't realize these are huge shoulders, which look good for a big old rhino, but there is a disc launcher feature built into it. There's your regular disc launching shooter piece right here. You can see the white there, but back here is the firing mechanism, and I kind of stopped it from firing, but you push that in and it'll take off. And that is built into the shoulder, although I still don't know why they couldn't have done something for a hinge there in the shoulder. It does allow more stability when you're trying to fire, rather having a floppy shoulder. But yeah, there's no joints there, but I think it's because of the function ultimately. Now, that's not the only thing this does. And you probably can't tell by looking at it, but, well, first we also have a hinged mouth. But the neck does not hinge, but that is for good reason, because you press down on the white spot on his back, and he becomes rampaging rhino attack. Yeah. And there's a rubber band in there that lets that snap back, but press right down here on this bar here. And I think this is very clever and very fun. The whole functions on this thing are really nice. You can't really see them just looking at them. You don't know what it does. And I mean, you take a closer look, I think at the back of the box there, it might show the features. But if you just saw pictures of this set, you would not know that it does anything and be like, yeah, it looks kind of boring. But yeah, this has got really cool rampaging, head smashing fun. You need a castle wall to knock down with it. That would be lots of fun, but we don't have that with this. We just have the one build, which this is the one base that comes with this, and it's got a little spider. I didn't notice in the instructions where they wanted the spider. I put them on here. We got a crystal hiding out here, but this is the game base. You got like one of the steps is actually a lava spurt. Not quite sure how you're supposed to get down to this crystal. There's no path down to it, but it's there. There's one way to get down, and that's up here. This is designed to collapse. So that's one way to fall down, but this is all lava down here, so that might not be the best place to go. Also up top, you have this sword at the end of it, which you can try getting. Now, one interesting thing about this, it has hinge, so you can move this, but there's no attaching point for another section. Now, they show it attached in some of the pictures, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Or at least they show it's supposed to attach. They don't show it actually attached. But it's a very small piece to the game, to the point that this doesn't feel like it really needs to be here. But yeah. So that is that. Let's go to the desk and give this a final eval. First, my final thoughts. I like this set. I'm just a little confused about the story. What's going on here? And this is probably because I haven't watched the show. Please let me know down in the comments what exactly is going on with this creature. It's, because that's really what's bothering me, is what is this? Is this Zane's and Cole's creature that they've summoned? Because it's got elements of both characters in it, with the black and the white. And there's nothing on the box really telling me. It's just simply called Zane's, which is why I have Zane here. Plus, we only have seats for one character. We do have Cole in the set, so I don't know. A mixed feeling about that. Overall, I like the Rhino, the design, how it's built, how it works. So let's go into the final eval. That will be apparent. Now, appearance, I really like the looks of this Rhino, except for the confusing parts, which is what element is it? Whose actual critter is it? It actually makes sense for a Rhino to be something that's Earth, but I could see an Ice Rhino as well. Easy enough. I kind of wish it was one or the other, because I think it would look a little bit better, because the contrasting colors kind of spread out all over the place. It's a detriment to the look. It's just a little bit. I mean, overall, I like the shaping. I like the head here, looks awesome, and stuff like that. It's just really the color scheme that kind of throws me off. And because of that, I gave appearance a 9. As far as function goes, I think this is really nice. I love the head ramming up ability, and the shoulder mounted weapons that fire from the back. That's really nice as well. You also have the gameplay here going here on this really small build. This definitely feels like an afterthought to this, while the main critter here is the main one. So as far as function goes, I gave it a 10. It's great. Yeah, this is not super amazing, but there's nothing wrong here either. Now, fun, you got a good balance here. You got 2 good guys, 2 bad guys. Good guys have this big old guy here. The bad guys also have this terrain, because this is really a dungeon type thing. So the terrain itself is part of the bad guy, the danger, the thing you got to overcome. That's quite evident over here with this one step that's a volcanic spurt. It spurts the stone up, and you're supposed to use that to get up to a higher level. That's kind of funny. As far as fun goes, I ended up giving it a 10. There's, yeah, a lot of cool stuff here. The only thing I wish there was an actual castle wall for this guy to like bash into. That would have been great. This is a little too small, and also this is more of a dungeon. This is fantasy, but this isn't exactly castle. So we don't have a castle. We just have dungeons and rock formations and lava and stuff. So we don't really have castles. Anyways, that was fun. Moving to techniques. Now, there's a lot of great stuff here in how it's shaped, but also it's integrated into the functions, like the shoulder mounted firing, the whole head bashing thing, and it meshes so well. And there's so many little things that they're used to make it look good, right down to the little hook tail here we have here. I think that's great. So yeah, I mean, and then the side build is nothing amazing. It's very simple terrain build, but there's some great stuff in here, and I ended up giving technique a 10 as well. So yeah, it's really cool build. and was interesting to build. It wasn't boring to build either. So that brings our final evaluation, because I'm not going to consider price. We're going to talk about it briefly. I have some interesting news to talk about with that, facts. But the final evaluation score, you add all that up, you get 39. You divide that by 4, and you get a 9.75, which we then round up to a 10. So yeah, this set's getting a 10. Despite my confusion about it. It really is. It looks great and it's fun. It's just confusing. This got a 10. It's not a solid 10, but it's definitely a 10. It's decent. Now, talking about the price, it was originally $49.99, $50, and had over 600 pieces, right? 616 pieces, to be precise. And that's a good deal. Doing the math, I didn't do the math, but it's lower than 10 cents per piece. So, and you get a decent bunch of pieces. There's big stuff here. There's small stuff here. There's even a burp in here. Big ugly rock piece. So yeah, the original price was good, and I would probably have given it a G. Now, interesting to note, I did just a brief look at things online, because Brickshelf did say it was still retailing for around $50 to $60, and lo and behold, that is true. I saw sites where you could get it for $50, despite this being a discontinued set. And there are some great parts in this set. I am half tempted to pick up a second one just for spare parts. There are a lot of good there's all these armor pieces. There's some other large pieces in here that are actually really great. And yeah, I might just see about picking up one for just spare parts. Granted, I like to buy things on clearance for spare parts, but considering how many good parts are in here and I can get it for a decent price, I might do that. So that's it for the review. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And please, if you enjoyed this, hit the like button. And if you're new here, sub. And follow me. Hit the notification button to follow me. But also check out my links in the description for Facebook and Twitter, because I tend to get my notifications out faster than YouTube. And there's also a Patreon down there as well that you can check out. Anything you do will help the channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. So that's it for me here at the Creation Evaluation Station, reminding you that creativity is key.